Hi, everybody, and welcome to Nutritional Healing with Cindy. This is Cindy Harrington. I'm Al Ganoza. She is the owner and practitioner, nutritional counselor here. Business has been open for over 6 years, and she's serving the community and transforming health, transforming lives. And thank you for having me here. And I've learned so much already about your business, but I know there's much more to learn. I guess first, transforming lives, and you do it at the root cause and at the grassroots level, as compared to just, I hate to say throwing a Band-Aid on things, but.
That's exactly right. We see people of all ages here, and in all different states of wellness. Most of the people who come here are suffering in some way with their health, and we're able to get answers as to why they're not well and the exact nutrition they need to turn it around in the form of changes to diet and supplementation. So we provide a way for them to transform their health.
A lot of times when I've seen it, if for somebody to stay healthy nowadays, they almost have to go against the grain of society and what is out there, what everybody else is doing. And it seems like right now, I think we all can agree on this, that throw a pill at something for immediate gratification and improvement of the problem, but still the problem is still there, right?
That is so true. The way things have evolved over the last decades, it's the answer typically that is known is to take a pill, or more, and if that doesn't work, consider surgery for something. When really, when we go back to the basics of health that we've known about for thousands of years on healthy food, for example, when we go back to that and nourish our bodies properly, the body will respond. Things have gotten so out of control. So, for example, you walk into a grocery store now, and many things in the grocery store are toxic, full of sugar and chemicals, for example. And this is one of the reasons we as a people are suffering with a lot of ailments.
Now we'll get into more into what you do, but if for somebody out there who's interested, what's the best thing they can do to meet you and get a process started?
You can go to our website. It's centerfornutritionalhealing.com. You can definitely call us. Our phone number is 484-938-7691. And Mary is at the front desk. She is the sweetest person and just a wonderful assistant to me, and can answer any questions you have. I'm often answering the phone and answering emails. And we're just looking out for folks as they come through to us, whether it's through the website, calling, emailing us, whatever.
Do you get people come in here and say, oh, I don't know if you're going to be able to help me, or I've had this problem for a while? And you probably see the people who run the gamut of issues they have to deal with.
Yeah, generally, once they have seen me, whether it's on a program like this or gone to the website and read about me and what I do, they come in with hope. Generally, they are really looking for the answers, and there may be a little bit of, with any new thing, a little bit of questioning or wondering, can this person really help me? But once I'm able to meet them and test them with nutrition response testing and give them answers at their evaluation, most people are ready to give this a try and transform their health, which transforms their lives.
And it probably takes a little more work than just taking a pill, but it has more lasting effects and can prevent the pill down the road.
Oh yeah. There is no other way to heal the body. We are flesh and blood. We are very sensitive. Our bodies are very sensitive, and they need to be handled with care, not with chemicals. And like you say, with a pill, these are chemicals with side effects. Now, in some cases, they're necessary, but generally, we can handle most things by taking care of these human bodies. I'm thinking of a little analogy, and it's really cute. I was talking to a little child one day, and I wanted to communicate to them about taking care of their body, and that child drank soda, you know, which is full of sugar, and the diet sodas are full of chemicals, chemical sweeteners that are really toxic. So either way, not really good for the human body. So I said to the child, I said, now what about your bunny rabbit? Do you give your bunny rabbit Pepsi to drink? And the little child went, no. And I said, well, what do you give the bunny rabbit to eat? Well, it eats lettuce, you know, or carrots. Oh, right. Well, what about you? To us, you're like a precious bunny rabbit, and I want you to eat healthy. I want you to care for your body like we have the bunny rabbit care for the body, with healthy things, not with drinking sodas, which will make you sick in the long run. And the child seemed to get it, the parent got it, and I mean, we are, I know this is a childish analogy, but it's so true for us. These, for example, products that are marketed to us in mass with a lot of money and marketing and dollars behind it, are our demise.
Now you mentioned children, so you have treated children, and I guess you go across all age ranges. Is there a certain age group you see in here more than others?
Yes. So yes and yes. So I help people of all ages, from babies through folks in their last years, you know, later years. 100 plus. But the majority of people who walk in our door are women between the ages of about 40 and 65. But I have helped plenty of children. I have helped plenty of men and plenty of folks of all ages.
Is there one or two maybe problems you see a lot of in here, or that people in general are trying to deal with?
There's sort of a collection of things, and they're all related, but generally we're helping people with energy issues, lack of energy. We're helping people with allergies, with weight gain, with anxiety and depression, with chronic pain. That's a big one that we see here, chronic pain, and we really can make a difference in this regard. Headaches, hormonal imbalance, infertility, sugar cravings. Those are headaches, migraines. These are things we see a lot of here. But then there's other things, like you get into the digestive issues, and we're talking acid reflux, we're talking bloat, we're talking inability to digest food, or pain with digestion, constipation, diarrhea, skin issues.
And is this, and probably could be both, something that they're eating that they shouldn't be, or maybe something they need to be eating that they aren't?
That's a great question. Both, we see both, but what we do at first is handle the root causes. And the root cause of an issue, let's say of a digestive issue, could be a food. And so if there's a problematic food that they're eating, we need to get that out of the diet. It could be anything, really. It just depends on the person and how that body has responded. to the environment, to foods, but it could be wheat, it could be dairy, it could be something like poultry that you would never suspect. It certainly could be sugar. But we test for other things. So with nutrition response testing, we can identify why that person is in distress and why that body is not well. And I test for 5 major stressors on the body. All sorts of foods and food groups, as I got into just a second ago. Immune challenges, including virus, bacteria, parasites, and fungus. All sorts of chemicals, all sorts of heavy metals, and even scars can disrupt the functioning of the nervous system and the functioning of organs and glands. So when we test for those 5 major stressors and then we start to handle those with changes to diet and or supplementation, the body responds. This flesh and blood, organic body responds to this natural approach. I mean, we're made up of a gazillion cells. These cells do not respond real well to chemical therapies in the form of medications, in the form of sugar and the chemicals in our foods. The body really is trying to adapt to that. It can't figure it out. And in a lot of cases, it's just suppressed and becomes diseased because this is not the way humans were meant to live on this planet and thrive.
I just want to touch upon sugar because that's my weakness. And what can that do to a body, and how is that not good? Let's say.
Well, that's my weakness too. That's everybody's weakness. Sugar is a highly addictive substance. I've heard it's more addictive than cocaine and heroin, for example. And I'm not surprised. Yet it's so accepted in the society, and it's everywhere you look. And every occasion with friends and family, sugar is about love and happiness, celebration, and it's, we can't escape it. But as soon as mommy and daddy put that little lollipop on Junior's tongue when he's, 2 months old or whatever, hey, Johnny, isn't that good? He's an addict. And then there's a lifetime of being addicted. And we're all in this together. You're not weak because you are having a hard time with it, and nor am I. But there are ways to cope with it. Okay, so sugar, as soon as we consume it, it lights up something or areas in the brain, right, to make us want more. So just to have a little lick of that lollipop really isn't possible. For a lifetime, we want more and more of that, or just a piece of that chocolate mousse or chocolate mousse cake, is almost impossible to just have one bite or one piece. That cake sits on your counter and it's not going to last there very long. And then there's a whole cascade of things that happen in the human body when that sugar is consumed. So that metabolically, big fancy name, right? That sugar goes to your blood and spikes the blood sugar level, and then the pancreas responds with bringing insulin in, and then boom, the blood sugar level goes down, right? And then you get tired and lethargic, and then you need more to bring it up, and it's just this roller coaster of blood sugar level that creates all sorts of problems, all sorts of inflammation and disease, and can result in a very unhappy person who is struggling both mentally and physically to cope.
Do most of us have bad diets?
Yes, but it's what this country has come to. I mean, I am still challenged with my diet, but I figure it's healthier than most at this point, and I've transformed my health in the last 8 years to the point where I'm in the healthiest of my life. But when I walk into a grocery store, I'm like, okay, look at all this marketing here. Every package is reaching out to you, colorful. They're saying the words you want to hear as you go through your head. Okay, should I choose this? Should I choose that? Oh, I've got this craving. I need this and that. But most of the grocery store, I realize this. And I'm going to very specific sections for a very specific product that I know will not injure me. And I'm also mentally going through hoops like, oh, but I would really like those corn chips because I'm really tired and it's Friday evening and I've worked really hard all week and it's time to put my feet up and relax and dip that corn chip into such and such dip and woo, weekend. And so then I go through my own mental gymnastics like, but I know if I bring that big bag of corn chips home, I'm going to eat it because I can't resist that. And so I have to say to myself, I don't need to bring those corn chips home. I need to get home. I need to nourish my body with good, healthy meat and protein and maybe some fish or, I've got some choices and good, healthy fats and some vegetables with some butter on it. How am I going to make this yummy and nourish my body this weekend?
Okay, once again, we're talking with Cindy Harrington from Nutritional Healing with Cindy. We also talked about dealing with chronic pain. You can help with that too?
Yes, absolutely. I have a history of chronic pain, and that's why I'm sitting here, and that's why I'm so passionate about this. I myself developed chronic pain in my late 30s, and I was debilitated by it. And with nutrition response testing, which is what I practice here, I was able to get well. I went to a practitioner near Reading, Pennsylvania, who threw me a lifeline, tested my body, figured out why I was in chronic pain and exactly what my unique body needed to get out of it. I healed my body, and I couldn't learn the technique fast enough because it works. And that's why I'm here. And so I see chronic pain a lot in this practice, and I have specialized in this. And I have specialized in why people are in chronic pain. And I can test that person's body, determine it, and throw them the lifeline that was thrown to me. And if they're willing to grab on, I can help them. Generally. If I can't, I will let them know. There's no doubt. But I have helped so many people with chronic pain, and it's the testimonials. If you pull them up on the website or on our Google, my business page, just Google us, Center for Nutritional Healing in Royersford. You just see these reviews, and it's hard to believe, but it's absolutely true.
And we talked about this in the beginning, but are a lot of common ailments and afflictions easily correctable without medication then?
Yes, and I'm just taking a pause to say easily correctable. In some cases, easily correctable. But like there's another analogy of a glacier or one of these big, what are the big ice formations in the North Pole?
Icebergs?
Yes, iceberg. Okay. So you have an iceberg. And in the ocean, okay? An iceberg, you'll see the top of it, but then you have the water level, right? And then underneath, there's something greater, lots more ice under there. But you see it poking out of the water. In some cases, this is what we find. A symptom is the body's signal. It's to say, help, there's something wrong. You need to make a change because whatever you're doing is not working. And that's the tip of the iceberg. And so, yes, people can be helped quickly and in the short run, definitely. And their symptoms, they can experience relief. But there is a longer period of healing that needs to take place so we can handle what's underneath. And I mean, it doesn't have to take years necessarily, but it needs time and dedication in a lot of cases to handle the root causes and fix the underlying reasons why that body has inflammation, pain, symptoms.
And we talked about allergies. It seems like there's so many more allergies that have cropped up from when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's
Food
true.
allergies, stuff around, and even more ailments.
Yes, absolutely. Even someone recently told me that a woman younger than me, who's in her 30s, said in grade school there was a table for the kids who were allergic to peanuts where they ate lunch, a separate table from the other kids. And, you know, my generation didn't have that type of issue. Yeah, there are so many more threats to our health today. So when I talk about foods, there's a lot of chemicals in foods today that weren't in my generation. There's a lot of chemicals in general that we're being exposed to that are legal for manufacturers to use in this country, but are making us really sick. And besides chemicals, there are heavy metals. And our guts are really, you've heard of leaky gut? Mm-hmm. Or, you know, our gut linings between, from the stomach down to the small intestine and the colon areas, the linings of these precious areas of our bodies are becoming inflamed and leaky and destroyed from all these things, and they need to be repaired. So the body develops allergies to various things, and a lot of times the first step is to heal the gut.
Now, once again, when people come in here and you talk with them, you will test them, but it does also help if they have a good idea of all they do and all they eat, to share that with you too, to find out what the problem is.
Yeah, that's pretty integral. So when someone comes to an evaluation here, it's an hour in length, and we have them fill out a form initially answering some basic questions about their health and their history. And then we do a series of tests that are pretty quick and painless, nothing invasive, here for a few minutes. And then I spend some time talking to them about what they've expressed to me on the form, and including diet, and just to get a general idea of what they're eating. And there's no judgment here. I was there. I grew up with the standard American diet, or SAD diet, of sugar and processed foods. I was there, but I had to pull myself out of that because I was not willing to live in chronic pain for the rest of my life. So yeah, diet is integral. We cannot correct things unless we address the diet. It doesn't have to be a big whopper deal, and we take baby steps to get to where we need to go. But I coach people through this gently and based on their own lifestyle and what they're comfortable with, because everyone's different with the changes they're able to make.
And I would think it would help to have somebody like yourself with them, because it's so easy when you do it yourself. It's so easy to give up, and there's so many things out there in society that say, this is easier, do it this way.
Oh yeah, the temptations are almost insurmountable for most people out there unless they have a coach or someone knowledgeable in nutrition that can guide them. Because not only are the temptations out there, but also there's so many answers out there, and people don't know what to do. Like, there's hundreds, literally hundreds, if not thousands of diets. And actually, many of them are very legitimate and helpful. But what's right for that person? And that's what I can help them determine and really zero in. And with the testing, we take all the guesswork out. There is no guessing in this office as to the exact nutrition that person needs and any supplementation they need. So we don't go for months trying to figure out what's going on with that body. We get right to it.
Did you say you help pregnant women too? You could help. Do you have moms that come in here?
Yes, absolutely. Moms really need support. And they're often juggling so many things in their lives with childcare and managing the home, and they may have a job and other stresses. And what we do is safe for pregnant women, because with the pregnant women, we use whole food supplements, and for others. Our main product line is Standard Process, and they are whole food supplements that are safe for everyone to take. It's basically food in a tablet or a capsule, and that address certain health issues that I can determine with the testing. And so these whole food supplements are safe for mama. They're safe for baby, whether the baby is in the womb or out of the womb. And they address these stressors and help rebuild these precious bodies of ours.
Are the good foods out there available? I mean, is it tough to get them, or people just have to know where to look? Is it?
The good foods are out there. They are out there, and they're at Giant. And I shop at Giant down the street. And I'll just briefly tell you some of the good foods at Giant, okay? No matter what budget. So you got the produce section, okay? And you got organic produce, and you got conventional produce. Take advantage of both. If you can't afford the organic, get the conventional, okay? Get some good vegetables in your body and some fruit. You don't need as much fruit probably as people think, because that's another form of sugar. But a little bit of fruit here and there is good, okay? Then you got the meat section. Awesome! Buy yourself some meat, some chicken, some turkey, some ground beef, red meat, some fish, from the fish section. Wonderful. Notice I'm going around the perimeter of Giant right now, or your local grocery store, whatever that is. And then you have the dairy section. Some people digest dairy well, other people don't. So if dairy works for you, yeah, get the whole milk, I'm not so keen on the skim milk or the non-fat milk, because we need the good fats. We need the enzymes that's in that milk. And that's another fancy word, enzymes, but basically they help us digest food, and they help chemical reactions that are good occur in the body. Cheese, yay. Get some good cheese. And if you can afford organic, great. But if you can't, get whole, fat cheese. And then, grains. This is another topic. Many of us are sensitive to grains, but get yourself some rice. Get yourself some brown rice or some white rice. Cook that up. And then, that's a good grain to have. Wheat's a whole nother topic, and these days it can be pretty inflammatory for people. So I'm not encouraging people to buy wheat products. But pasta, get yourself some good pasta. Some red lentil pasta, some chickpea pasta. Get some olive oil, put some olive oil on that, or some good red sauce, some good tomato sauce, or ragu, But read the label, because I think, not to say anything bad about ragu, I don't know, but read your labels. Is there sugar on it? How much sugar is in it? 4 to 5 grams of sugar equals a teaspoon, okay? And you don't want too much of that. You don't want too many teaspoons a day of sugar. Limit it to 4, 5 teaspoons a day. So what does that equal? 5 teaspoons times 4 grams of sugar is 20 grams of sugar. Read your labels. Just go to sugar. How many grams are in that product? So that's just a little quickie overview. Don't go into the middle aisle so much, okay? Don't go to the candy aisle. Corn chips, occasionally. occasionally some ice cream. You know, don't deprive yourself, but you need to nourish your body. We need to nourish our bodies.
You know, and on your website, there are a bunch of testimonials. Are there a couple that stand out in your mind and a couple that really hit home with you?
Yeah, and I have my list here of these beautiful testimonials of like beautiful people who believed there was another way, who believed that there was an answer out there and had some hope and showed up and tried something different than what's conventional. But this truly should be the convention. This is where we should all start. So, okay, one of those beautiful people is Jacqueline M. And I'm trying not to get teary because this is what I dreamed for them. And this is what happened for me too. Not this story, but here's Jacqueline's story. When I first started coming to Cindy, I had severe anxiety and depression, chronic fatigue, and was in a downward spiral, ready to take medications. Cindy helped me figure out what was stressing my nervous system, and through continued check-ins, I can say I have so much more energy. My depression is gone, and my anxiety is greatly improved. This is a young mother of 2 children who had a job and has a job, and who needed hope, and we're getting her there. We're getting her there, even with anxiety and depression. If you're on medication for this, it's okay. Come here. We can make your situation even better, because people being on pharmaceutical medication for anxiety and depression, for those of you who are doing this, know that this is often not fixing it. They're still suffering. And there are root causes. You know, those 5 major stressors I listed: food, immune challenges, chemicals, heavy metals, and even scars. These are at the root of anxiety and depression. We figure it out, and we can help you make your life story completely better. And then another one, well, here's another one from Danny, a woman. Before coming to Center for Nutritional Healing, I had been sick for about 6 years with a whole laundry list of symptoms that was debilitated and altered how I functioned in daily life. Every doctor told me that they could find nothing wrong with me. I hear this all the time, by the way. I had seen countless doctors and had every test imaginable with no help. Now, after only 5 months of starting treatment with Cindy, I am a whole new person. And for the first time in 6 years, I am back to my old vibrant health. I feel great. And then she says some other very nice things about us here. But she says, I would recommend the Center for Nutritional Healing to anyone with any problem, because that is what they do. Get to the bottom of things and solve problems to make you better. And these are on Google. I mean, I didn't make these up. These people offered these testimonials on Google. Their full names are on there with the 5 stars, which we love to get. But we're doing it here. We're transforming people's lives. Your life can change for the better.
Once again, if somebody wants to get in touch and get things started with you, there's opportunity, right?
Yeah, we are here. We're waiting to help you because we have been where you are, and we have seen the power of what we do here. So you can call us on the phone, pick it up. There's no obligation. You call us on the phone to ask a few questions, right? 484-938-7691. Or you open your email and you send an email to info@centerfornutritionalhealing.com. Or you're like, oh, she seems to know what she's talking about. She's pretty passionate about this. Not sure. Go to our website, centerfornutritionalhealing.com. Read that whole first page. Watch some videos that were here on PCTV. Go to the testimonial section. These are legit, real people like you and like me who walked in the door and gave this a chance and have been absolutely delighted and learned a lot about their bodies and how to take care of it.
And I'm assuming some of these people have nowhere, they went it alone and didn't really have somebody to listen to them like you did.
Yeah, I listen, and I have been there, and I will give people honest, real feedback as to what I see and what it's going to take. From, what is it going to take? What is it going to take in terms of the changes you make? What is it going to take financially to pay for something like this? And it really is a beautiful investment that is worth it. I mean, what is more precious than our health? And yet it does not have to break the bank. But where are your priorities? Do you want to live on free of pain, discomfort, symptoms, and do you want to be your best self, mentally and physically?
All right, thanks for joining us for Nutritional Healing with Cindy. I'm Al Ganoza, and this is Cindy Harrington. And Cindy, this was great. I learned so much, and it was such a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, thank you. You asked wonderful questions, and it's really an honor to talk to you today, Al.
Well, thank you. And likewise.
Thank you.
You can learn too. Just give Cindy a call.